so be that the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of him. Amen.
Amen. So again, we have, blasted on this. We've, announced it many, many times. And some people, they may be a Christian. They may have been born in the Christian home. They may have that knowledge of Christ. They may have so many things, as I say, but ye are not in the flesh. If you are in the flesh, it means that you are doing the works of the flesh. You are doing everything which is the works of the flesh, which will not benefit. But in the spirit, because we are being told that we are in the spirit, so we are put on Christ. When you put on Christ, that old flesh, that old way of doing things, and it's supposed to be cast aside, supposed to be removed. And because where there is light, darkness runs away. Because we all know in the room, when the room is dark, you put on the light, the darkness is gone, disappears immediately. So as Christians, we have to put on Christ. And as we are being told here in Romans 8:9, that if so be that the Spirit of God dwells in you. If the Spirit of Christ dwells, or the Spirit of God dwells in you, in me, then it means that that is what we are going to be doing, putting on and being able to have that power to overcome and being able to produce all the wonderful pieces that we have been saying, putting on Christ. Then he says, now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. If you don't have this, you are a Christian, but you don't have the Spirit of Christ, and you are none. You are not going to heaven. You are not going to be, taken to heaven, because you are just a shell. You are not the real thing. You are a chaff. And so we need to ask God to help us, because we need that relationship with Him. Then back to what we just read in 1 John 5:4. He says, for whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. And remember what we are saying when we say our faith is not our own faith, it's because we are put on Christ. Once we put on Christ, everything we do, we are doing it because of Christ, so it becomes ours as we put on Christ. And that is the reason that we have this faith, and that faith allows us to do so many things, and that's why we believe, we hope, we have all of these principles. All right, John 16:33. Benita, read that.
These things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
All right, so since Christ has overcome the world, Christ has overcome the pandemic, Christ has overcome fears, Christ has overcome everything. So we do not have to worry, we do not have to be afraid, we do not have to have anything, because the faith in Christ has given us the ability to overcome. So we are more than conquerors, we are overcomers, and that is what God has given to us. Leader Tunde, please help us to read 1 John 2:13.
1 John 2:13. I write unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. I write unto you, young men, because ye have overcome the wicked one. I write unto you, little children, because ye have known the Father. Amen.
Amen. And then Ebenezer, read 1 John 5:4. 1 second. Okay, we just read 1 John 2:13, right? Right. So the next one is All right. First John 4:4, Ebenezer.
You are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Amen.
Amen. So we have all of these manifestations, blessings upon us, and so we need to have that power that God has given to us so that we are able to overcome, because we are already overcomers in Christ, because we are put on Christ.